So Mufasa the Lion King is a new CG animated film directed by Barry Jenkins that also happens to be the prequel to, well, The Lion King. In the events of Mufasa the Lion King, this film tells a story of not only how Mufasa and Scar met, but it also tells the journeys of how they became the characters that we all know and well, The Lion King. Before I continue on with today's video, I just wanted to say, welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss a future video, whether it's a future review, a reaction, a top 5, or whatever I have coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because believe me when I say this, guys, you are not going to miss the cool stuff I have coming your way. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, welcome back, everybody. You have no idea how happy to see your faces once again. And let's start our conversation below. What did you guys think of Mufasa the Lion King? Did you like the film? Did you dislike it? Let me know below. Oh, and also, one last thing I gotta say is that I do apologize that this review came out a bit later than I intended, as the screening for this movie was on the day of a very important BOFAS on the Sofas episode, our Christmas episode, which was, by the way, it was an absolute riot. If you guys haven't checked out our episode, I'll leave a link in the description below. Believe me, guys, I could not miss that episode. It was one of the best episodes we have ever done, at least in my personal opinion. Alrighty, guys, so let's get into Mufasa the Lion King.
Excellent!
As you all are fully well aware, I absolutely love The Lion King. The Lion King, the original film, I should say, by the way, not the remake, is one of my favorite animated films of all time. I mean, it is legitimately not just one of the greatest Disney Renaissance films out there, but it's just one of the greatest animated films, period. And you know what? Speaking of that remake, you know what? I have to admit of my own, I guess you could say, wrongdoing, I guess you could say. Because I originally gave that film, the remake, a 4 out of 5. Not one of my proudest moments, I will say right now. Ever since that review, I have since thought about that movie and the things that have bothered me about it ever since. So I will admit, I think I was a little too generous with that film, because I was just so excited to see Jon Favreau making a CG remake, not a live action remake. It's a CG film, not live action. I just want to say that right now. It's CG. It's the same fucking movie. I mean, it's a different paint job. It's a cool paint job with a new cast and characters, and there are some differences, but really, it's the same damn movie. What would I give that remake now? I give Lion King 2019 like a 2 out of 5. It's not a bad film. It's just, it's okay. When I heard they're going to be making a prequel to the remake, well, remake, original film, whichever, it's a prequel regardless to whichever film, Anyway, the only thing that I kept hearing in my head was, why? I mean, there's really no reason for it to happen. I mean, sure, the idea of seeing the journeys of how not only Scar and Mufasa met, but how Scar became Scar, sure could be interesting, but the way they're tackling it as a live action film, it just, I don't know, something about it didn't sit well with me. But then I heard it was directed by Barry Jenkins, who I think is a phenomenal filmmaker. Now, Moonlight to me is a terrific film. When I heard he was directing it, I just thought, okay, this could be something new. Barry Jenkins tackling on The Lion King. Let's see how it goes down. Is this movie better than the remake? I can confidently say yes. This movie is an improvement over that movie. The first thing I want to talk about, believe it or not, isn't the visuals, although don't get me wrong, I will talk about that later on, actually next up. But the first thing I want to talk about are actually the performances, the vocal performances, which, by the way, the vocal performances I thought were fantastic. Whether it's Aaron Pierre as Mufasa, Kelvin Harrison Jr., I believe, as Scar, not to mention as well, Mads Mikkelsen. I mean, there is a great cast in this movie, and I gotta tell you guys, I thought all of them did a great job in this movie. There is one particular thing that you guys have heard, I guarantee, from other reviews out there, and that is that Aaron Pierre stepped into some big shoes. I mean, come on, guys. We're talking about a character that was originally voiced by James Earl Jones. I can only imagine the pressure that Aaron Pierre must have faced stepping into those shoes, but I thought he did a wonderful job of capturing the essence of Mufasa, because just his voice alone, he just commands your attention, he commands that screen, and it makes me so excited to see him when he portrays Jon Stewart in that Lantern show coming to HBO in a couple of years. I also thought that Kelvin Harrison Jr. did a great job of voicing Scar because, once again, going back to what I was saying about Aaron Pierre, Kelvin Harrison Jr. is stepping into the shoes of a role that was voiced by Jeremy Irons. Two iconic legends voicing those characters, and their shoes being filled in by these two actors. And man, not only did Aaron Pierre do a great job, but also Kelvin Harrison Jr. He did a wonderful job, and actually, at a certain point, I felt like that he was slowly kind of morphing into Jeremy Irons. Then again, Jeremy Irons is his portrayal of Scar is like synonymous, but still nonetheless. Gotta also talk about Mads Mikkelsen as the main villain here. Mads Mikkelsen, I didn't recognize him at first, and I just kept thinking, where the hell have I heard that voice? I know that Mads Mikkelsen is a genius actor, and I thought he did a terrific job. Going on to the next thing that I can most obviously gush about, the visuals. Mufasa the Lion King is stunning. It is a visually pleasing movie, brilliant visuals, but truly some imagery that I legitimately thought was freaking real. There are shots of a canal, there are shots of snow, there are shots of these beautiful landscapes, these beautiful vistas that I thought were real. Now sure, and do not get me wrong, are there those moments that seem very CGI-ish or very video game-like? Sure. They absolutely do. But at the same time, guys, this movie does such a great job of immersing you right back into the world of the Pride Lands, of taking you on this journey with some really beautiful visual effects. Something else that I really dug about this movie was the musical score. I know the music was composed by two people. One of them was Nicholas Britell, who I have been a huge fan of ever since I heard a score from Succession and also Andor, but there's another composer, I can't remember this person's name, so I'll put him right here, but their score is so damn good. There are moments of this movie, character-driven moments, that you can clearly see what Barry Jenkins wanted to do, and there are some great, beautiful, captivating moments in a film that show this great brotherly, sibling movie that turns into a story about betrayal and just disgust about rivalry. Every time those moments, those flashes happened, my God, I wish those moments were dived into so much more.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Even though this movie is, do not get me wrong, an improvement over that 2019 CGI remake, it still doesn't quite get there, unfortunately. One of the biggest reasons why this movie just doesn't quite get there was, honest to God, it was the storytelling. This is a movie that I feel like could have definitely had potential because, once again, guys, this is a movie that is supposed to showcase the journey of not only how Scar and Mufasa met, but also show the journey of how these characters got to the places that they're in before Lion King. It shows the journey that these characters went on to becoming the characters that we know in The Lion King. While there are some bits that I thought were actually pretty cool in terms of the character development, going to specific parts that really do showcase, okay, this is how this character goes to there, this is how this character gets to this specific point before The Lion King. There were three particular moments that just made me go, that's how? Really? Something else that I gotta mention, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I also thought that this movie in quite a few spots was kind of boring. I never thought that a movie about how Scar and Mufasa met and their journey to become the characters that we know in The Lion King would be, a majority of the time, a bore fest. Like, guys, no joke. There were times where I kind of checked out of this movie, but then once it came to one of those flashes of brilliance that showcased what this movie could have been, was sucked right back in. But then there are other moments where it just goes into a spot where I just thought could have been even more captivating, but just gets lost within the CGI wonderland of the Pride Lands of the world of The Lion King, unfortunately. One more thing that I gotta mention, and this is something that I am shocked by, and believe me when I say this, shocked. While I thought that the musical score was great, the actual songs themselves Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the songs for this movie. He is one of the best, one of the most talented artists, one of the best musicians working today. And for a film that has songs, musical numbers that really, and honest to God here, guys, musical numbers that I can't ever remember, especially coming from a musician with the talent of him, that is honest to God shocking. Nothing stood out.
And here we go.
So overall, Mufasa the Lion King is visually dazzling, it has great vocal performances, and this movie does have flashes of brilliance of what this movie could have been. But man, I really do wish this movie was as captivating as its visuals. And especially considering who wrote the songs for this movie, I was shocked that it wasn't as great nor as memorable as it should have been. All in all, I'm gonna give Mufasa the Lion King a 2.5 out of 5. This movie is definitely an improvement over that remake, but at the same time, to you guys, it just still doesn't quite get there, unfortunately. I hope you enjoyed my review of Mufasa the Lion King. If so, please hit the like button, or if you disliked my review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.